The Earth is huge. There are 250 countries on Earth. What might be common for the countries at different continents? What can unite the countries with different languages, cultures, religions, and climate? They are thousands of kilometers apart with endless oceans and tall mountains between them. But there's common love for Kazakhstan, economic and cultural relations, political connections, and strong friendship. Two embassies from two different parts of the world on the hospitable Kazakhstan land. Arabian Peninsula. It is here in southwestern Asia where the state of Kuwait is located. And far away from it, in northern Europe on the Baltic Sea shores, there's Lithuania. Today we invite you to visit the embassies of both countries to see the development of relations between the two countries, what's in common for Kazakhstan, hot Kuwait, and coastal Lithuania. The state of Kuwait is located in the northeastern part of the Arabian Peninsula. 3 million people live on the area of 18,000 square kilometers. In the north and west it borders with Iraq, in the south with Saudi Arabia, and in the east it is washed by the Persian Gulf. Its capital city is El Kuwait. Kuwait became independent on the 19th of June 1961. The people of Kuwait admire their history. In the 18th century, several tribes moved here from Central Arabia and settled near the wells with fresh water. After some time, a fort was built here, therefore its name of Kuwait means small fort. Before the land of Kuwait got its first oil fountain, the country lived on exporting coffee, pearls, spices, and horse trading. The modern Kuwait is one of the most prosperous countries in the world.
إذا كان يتحدث عن تاريخ العلاقة بين دولة الكويت وجمهورية كازاخستان.
The history of relations between Kuwait and Kazakhstan started back in 1993. The state of Kuwait was one of the first countries that recognized Kazakhstan's independence. President Nazarbayev visited Kuwait, and this meeting of the country's leaders is considered as the starting point in development of relations. Several agreements on the development of relations between the two countries were signed during that visit. These agreements resulted in establishing the governmental committees, and the work has begun. A whole range of agreements is signed at each meeting, which leads to strengthening of relations between our countries. An important stage in bilateral relations has also become the first mutual Kazakhstan-Kuwait Intergovernmental Commission on Trade, Economic, Cultural, and Humanitarian Cooperation held in Astana in November of 2008.
وهناك تطور آخر هم كذلك حدث.
Embassies were opened in our countries a year and a half ago. At this moment, we developed and improved the relations between our countries. Our countries are in close cooperation in the international organizations, especially in the UN. We think that we have common views on many things. We hope for another visit of President Nazarbayev to Kuwait to plan the future economy and relations between our countries, identify the development of economic and cultural connections. The life level in Kuwait is very high. It plays a great role in the eastern countries, although it is not the amount of dinars in the bank accounts that is important for the people of Kuwait, but the position in society. You will easily see that our countries have a lot in common. For example, care of the younger and older members of their families. Older people and children are treated kindly by everyone. The children are taught to respect the elderly and live in peace with multiple family members. Kuwait is a very developed country. Oil production is the basis of its economy since 1946. The most important task for our countries is the development of trade and economic relations.
نحن الآن نعقد عدة مفاوضات وعدة لقاءات.
At this moment, we hold meetings and sessions at the highest level to develop economic cooperation. In particular, we discuss the matters of investments. For instance, the first private investor from Kuwait started its work in Kazakhstan's market in 2006. Since then, several large private entrepreneurs invest their funds in the development of Kazakhstan's economy. Islamic Bank of Kuwait plays an important role in the development of relations. This bank operates in Kazakhstan and participates in social projects. We have several ideas and opportunities for investments in both countries. Kuwait has not always been prosperous, but it managed to bring back the former glory. It was not only the oil dividends that helped the country to get back on its feet, but the courage and strength of its citizens. The high level of life did not make them simple consumers, but they remained true patriots of their country. The people of Kuwait courageously passed all tests of life and did not break to aggressor, but instead, after the last battles were over, they started to slowly build back what was destroyed. True citizens of the respectable country. And today, more and more private investors from Kuwait explore the Kazakhstani market. There is a close connection between the chambers of commerce of our countries. I see Kazakhstan and Kuwait having mutual prosperity in the future. We strive to increase the turnover of goods. We have established cooperation through the private sector, which resulted in the import of meat from Kazakhstan to Kuwait. And we wish to expand the import to many other industries. The numbers of turnover have grown up significantly as compared to, say, 2014. Such beneficial economic growth was possible thanks to cooperation of our countries. The Kuwait investors are very interested in the rapidly developing Kazakhstan economy. Besides, over the past few years, Kazakhstan has taken several measures to increase the attractiveness of our country for businessmen. In fact, in 2011, the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, has first offered the establishment of Islamic organization on food security. Our country was one of the first ones to recognize the Food Security Organization in Kazakhstan. And then the state of Kuwait joined this organization as we have common interest in this field. The Republic of Kazakhstan is the leader in wheat production, and the state of Kuwait is very interested in this product. At this moment, the countries discuss the issue of importing this product. But the discussion is not limited only by this item. Kazakhstan has a great and spacious land in its possession. In the future, our country is planning to invest in agriculture in your country. Kazakhstan in the world is recognized as a country with beneficial business climate, private partnership agreements, government support, and the readiness to accept any innovations. Currently, we have signed an agreement between the state of Kuwait and Kazakhstan in the support of investors, and this agreement is already in full force. At the same time, Kazakhstan has developed a beneficial law for foreign investors on legislative level. Investors are protected by Kazakhstan law. Moreover, the tax laws are very attractive too. This provides great opportunities for businessmen. The state of Kuwait is very interested in the development of our economic connections, and we think that all measures taken by Kazakhstan allow us to hope for future close cooperation. Kuwait is a progressive country. 98% of its population has decent education. Women have equal political rights with the men. Although Kuwait is near Saudi Arabia, the Muslim way of dressing is not a must. Many older men prefer to wear the Kuwaiti thobe, while not many women wear abaya, a black shawl completely covering the body except for their hands and face. This dress is suitable for the desert climate of Kuwait. The Western dress style is very popular among the Kuwaiti youth. The state of Kuwait is a small country in terms of land, but we have a very well-developed infrastructure. We have all conditions for tourists. Kuwait is a beautiful country. Kuwaiti architecture is predominantly inspired by Islamic architecture. The famous landmark in the country is the Kuwaiti Towers, designed by Swedish architect Sune Lidström, in unique combination of traditional minaret and modern architectural structures. I think Kazakhstan is a beautiful country too. Nature is unique here, and people of Kuwait love to travel and see new countries. And by the way, our people more and more come to Kazakhstan and they like your country. Especially Astana. It is considered a new miracle of Asia. And we need to develop tourism between our countries. At this point, there is one problem: the visas. We pay great attention to it and work to make the visa issue process easier. Kazakhstan for Kuwait became a good partner and friend in all terms. We work together on the political arena, in the economy, and have tight cultural relations. Lithuania. This country has a common history connected with Kazakhstan. Some time ago, our countries were both part of the USSR, but the history of our relations is much older than that.
Расстояние между Казахстаном и Литвой очень впечатляющее.
The distance between Kazakhstan and Lithuania is very big. More than 4 hours by plane, while it is around 4 hours of flight from one part of Kazakhstan to the other. But a big distance will never be a barrier for developing friendship between the two countries. The Soviet Union era was a very complex and ambiguous time. However, our countries were wise enough to save the brightest and most valuable things in life: cooperation, friendship, and mutual understanding.
Именно в советское время у нас очень сильно развивалась дружба между Казахстаном и Литвой.
Well, it was the Soviet Union times when we developed strong friendship between Kazakhstan and Lithuania, especially in the 1940s during Stalin's deportation time. Hundreds of thousands of people were deported from Lithuania to Kazakhstan. By the way, my grandfather as well, and we are very grateful to the people of Kazakhstan of all ethnic origin for saving people's lives. Of course, this was the case everywhere, but in Kazakhstan it was happening with such care, and you set the grave crosses both in the Spaz camp and Algiers and other places. Since then, we have tens of thousands of Lithuanians living not only in Karaganda, but in Almaty, Astana, and other cities. And they live quite well. Some immigrated to Lithuania, some re-immigrated from Lithuania back to Kazakhstan. People are happy and they feel comfortable. Lithuania is an independent country, one of the countries of the Baltic Sea shore. It borders with Latvia and Belarus in the southeast. In the southwest, it borders with Poland and Kaliningrad region of Russia. It is a member of the UN since 1991, the EU and NATO since 2004. The ancestors of Lithuanians were the Baltics that appeared on the Baltic Sea shore around 2000 years BC. Scientists claim the establishment of state to the territory of modern Lithuania back in the 13th century. Since that time, Lithuanian history was full of numerous events. One of the most important events took place on May 18, 1989, when the Supreme Council of Lithuanian SSR claimed independence, and on March 11, 1990, it accepted the act of restoring the Lithuanian independence. In February 1991, independence of Lithuanian Republic was recognized by Iceland. In August, after the failure of the August overthrow, its independence was recognized by Russia, and on September 16, 1991, by the USSR. And on the very next day, September 17, 1991, Lithuania became the member of the UN.
Мы сотрудничаем и с Казахстаном в контексте международных организаций. Вот возьмите ООН, допустим. Президент.
We cooperate with Kazakhstan in terms of international organizations. The United Nations Organization, for instance, President Nazarbayev initiates various conferences on nuclear disarmament, peace conferences. One such conference will be held next year, and of course we support such initiatives. Moreover, we were members of the Security Council of the UN. We completed our mission, and now it's Kazakhstan's turn to take it next year. We can learn from each other. And if we learn something, then you can learn something from us too. Mutual understanding between Kazakhstan and Lithuania is reached not only because of common history. Fact is that both of the countries move in one direction, the progress. We are interested in the development of our countries, in particular in capital investment.
С чего начинается инвестиция? Инвестиция начинается там, где кончаются политические перетряски, конфузы, противоречия.
What does the investment start from? Investment starts where political problems, confuses, and contradictions are over, where new ideas, innovations, and interest on mutually beneficial projects appear. I don't think that there's any country that can teach you on the best way to attract investments. And there's a simple reason to it. And the answer is that since the very beginning when Kazakhstan claimed its independence, you managed to attract an astronomical number of $250 billion of foreign investments. I don't think that there are many countries that can say the same. Of course, it's a serious result, and we reached it also thanks to Lithuanian businessmen.
У нас торговля составила 1 миллиард 100 миллионов долларов. Довольно приличная сумма.
The trade level between us accounts to $1,100 million. This is quite an impressive amount. You develop excellent projects and accept our congratulations with Kazakhstan. This is a global project, a world brand. But this concerns not only Kazakhstan, but also the metallurgic industry, oil processing, gas, crop production, and other industries as well, like transportation, logistics, tourism, and services. All this is developing rapidly in your country now. Of course, foreign investments are attracted as well. Lithuania can be proud that after becoming an independent country, it has successfully shifted to a stable market economy. This country has a very low inflation level, but there are also weak points, which is poor raw material base. However, thanks to successful cooperation with friendly countries, Lithuania solves its economic problems and shares its experience with Kazakhstan.
Великолепная идея президента.
I think the president of Kazakhstan, Mr. Nazarbayev, as well as the country's government, had an excellent idea to hold several forums all over the region, not only in Astana. Astana itself is perhaps the largest investment project, the largest internal and external investments as well. In order for us to understand how close Kazakhstan is connected with Lithuania, Mr. Ambassador offers to walk to the nearest supermarket and take a look at the shelves.
Сходить в любой гастрономии, когда вы покупаете рыбу, вичи, это и есть литовская продукция. Это вот рыба.
Whenever you go to some food store and buy fish of the Vichy brand, it is a Lithuanian product. Lots of cheese types and lots of butter types. I buy it because it's great butter. But this is a food cooperation, and if we shift from food to construction cooperation, you will see that many residential complexes and office buildings were built in Astana. Besides, the joint Kazakhstan-Lithuanian construction companies have worked on the new look of Shimbulak. The participation of Lithuanian businessmen in the economic life of Kazakhstan is very diverse.
Акцент сейчас делается на инновации, на IT, на информатику, знаете.
The focus now is on innovations, IT, informatics, these kinds of industries, and here we have a great progress as well, especially in certain niches. I can tell you that 10% of the total scientific lasers are produced in Lithuania, every 10th laser, and we will show it at the expo. Reliable partnership, many years of friendship and similarity in cultures of our countries allow us to develop and strengthen relations between our countries. They seem to be some tiny bridges, small step towards each other. But in fact, over the years of independence, we have very strong relations between Kazakhstan and Lithuania. This is how amazing Kazakhstan is. Both Kuwait and Lithuania, that are completely different from each other, found a lot in common with our country. And once again, it proves the fact that people in Kazakhstan are friendly and hospitable. With the help of your program, I would like to say hello to all people of Kazakhstan. I think we are brothers. I wish you all the best, prosperity and growth. We have always been friends, and I'm sure that our friendship will keep getting stronger and stronger. I wish you peace and stability in your country. I wish you Saule, as you pronounce it, Saule, to bring joy and happiness to all people of Kazakhstan and their friends. May God bless you and all friends of Kazakhstan and see you again.
Здоровья всем людям Казахстана. И до встречи.